Hey guys, welcome back. Today we'll be talking about something that we shouldn't still be discussing, I think, in 2020. And that is carbs. Carbs are life. I love carbs. And so let's talk about carbs. First things first, if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, just subscribe. It costs you nothing. Just click. You're already here. You might as well just subscribe. Anyway, carbs don't make you fat. The excess consumption of carbs, or anything for that matter, is what will make you fat. Food is energy, and how it works is that if you consume more energy than what your body needs, your body will, it's actually a very smart thing that the body does. Your body will say, all right, looks like we've got a bit of extra energy. Let's save this up for later. And so that's how you come into a situation where your body has excess energy, i.e. excess fat, stored up in several places. And that's how weight is gained. So anything that you eat in excess of what your body needs will make you gain weight. Whether it's a carb or proteins or fats, doesn't matter the food group, because all carbs are is that they're just a food group. Shame. Poor carbs, always getting a bad rep on these streets. The reason why people always blame carbs is that it's the easiest food group to eat in excess. Some people will say, yeah, of course, I hear what you're saying. Carbs don't make you fat. Cool. But how come when I cut carbs, I lose weight, but when I bring back carbs, suddenly I gain weight? Good question. And for some people, well, for most people really, when they think about carbs, they think about sweets, chips, chocolates, burgers, pizza, all of those good things, right? And all those are, because with carbs, not all carbs are made equal, essentially. So you get complex carbs and you get simple carbs. And notice I'm not saying you get good carbs or bad carbs. We're not using that language in this house. Yeah, we're not labeling foods as good or bad. That's one thing I'll never encourage people to do. So you get complex carbs, which are carbs that have more fiber, so found in vegetables and whole foods and beans and lentils and whole wheat bread and brown rice, and those are your complex carbs. And then you get simple carbs, which is the carbs that I mentioned before, which is the refined carbohydrates. So the thing with simple carbs and the refined carbs is that they are refined in order to make them more palatable, which is sciencey for more delicious. So basically, the simple carbs have been engineered to make them taste good, or to sort of keep you coming back for more. That's why you can never just have a handful of chips. Like, you always want more. It's because that's just how they've designed them to be. And even the balance of certain like biscuits and sweets, it's literally structured in a way that will always make you keep coming back to the packet. So because you were over consuming the refined carbs, and now suddenly when you stop, you'll lose weight. Obviously you'll lose weight because you're eating less calories. So we spoke about the simple carbs, but what carbs should you be looking at? And that is the complex carbs, the non-refined carbs, the carbs that have nutrients, the carbs that have fiber, the carbs that are good for you, the carbs that keep you fuller for longer. And those are the whole foods, those are the veggies, those are the whole wheat breads, high in fiber, and how you prepare them as well. Like, for example, are you boiling your potatoes? Are you roasting them versus frying them? And things like that. Another thing that I want to touch on is the elimination of carbs, or diets that say you should eliminate carbs completely. For me, the first thing when I see something or a plan or an eating plan that says no carbs, miss me. No carbs. What do you mean no carbs? Carbs are important. Carbs are life. We must just do a red flag. A red flag is a meal plan or a diet plan that says you need to eliminate certain food groups. If you just see no carbs, no. We've now learned that one, not all carbs are created equal, and it's how the carbs are prepared that makes them, excess in calories, or we spoke about that whole thing. But if you see something that says eliminate carbs, just know that it's not sustainable. Why? Because if you genuinely enjoy carbs, let's say, for example, you're having lunch with a friend at a nice restaurant, and now you're feeling anxious because as much as you want a burger or a sandwich, you're on the plan that says no bread, right? Even though whole wheat bread is also very good. It's whole, it keeps you fuller for longer, it's got fiber, and maybe your friend orders the thing that you wanted to order. Maybe she orders the steak sandwich with the side salad and a beverage of sorts, right? And you're on the plan, you're on the low carb thing, so you get a salad, okay? And so you get your salad and you drench it in sauce or salad dressing, which, by the way, also adds excess calories. So in a sick twist of events, your salad ends up being more higher in calories than your friend's sandwich, but that's a topic for another day. Anyway, so if your friend has a sandwich, she's good, she's happy, and now you've eaten your salad, but guess what? You're miserable. And what do? You get home and you eat the whole contents of your entire fridge because you just feel like, I'm so hungry. Whereas, had you had the sandwich, you would have had the sandwich, felt super satisfied, and lived your life. Now you've got an empty void and you find yourself feeling like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. You overeat, you get home, you want junk food, and so what do? You start to consume in excess refined carbs because you just feel like you are feeling deprived. And that is how people end up saying, oh, okay, but these diets don't work. No, it's not that they don't work. It's the mindset you've created for yourself, where you are eliminating food groups and then you go on a binge on the things that are high in calories, and then you find yourself gaining weight. So, like I said, eat the sandwich that you wanted to eat so that you don't feel like you're deprived. Eat whatever you want to eat in small, reasonable portions. Pick the right kind of carbs. Yes, you can have the simple carbs. You can have the biscuits, the sweets, the treats, but make sure that you're also adding the whole foods so that you can also feel like you're full, you're feeling satisfied with the meals that you're eating, that you're not always hungry. You're not meant to always be hungry. You're not always meant to be feeling like, you're torturing yourself, and you're not always meant to be in the cycle of, oh my word, I ruined it, I had carbs, I'll start again on Monday. No, it doesn't work like that. Don't eliminate food groups. If you see something that says eliminate food groups, now you know that just creates a vicious cycle. You don't need that. So like I always say, this channel is about learning, it's about having the conversations, it's about eliminating the myths, getting rid of these falsified ideas about diet culture, and just really becoming more free, feeling like we don't always have to question, our food choices and things like that. But anyway, some take-home messages. Well, if you're at home, you know what I mean. When you are eating, slow down when you're eating. because that's how you overeat. If you eat too fast, like you're eating in front of the TV, and then where's the food? It's all gone, a whole lot of it. So try to be, if you feel like you're always overeating carbs, or you're always overeating in general, try to slow down when you eat your meals. They call it mindful eating. And I know it sounds silly to most people, like, okay, but some people really aren't aware of how much they're consuming, because if you slow down when you're eating, you're less likely to overeat, because you'll realize, okay, I'm feeling a bit full, I should probably stop. Whereas if you're just mindlessly eating, your signal, by the time the signal kicks in that I'm full, you've already eaten so much. So try and eat more mindfully, especially when you're having carbs, and try and be aware of the size of your portions when you're eating carbs. And if you find that you've overeaten on one day, or it's fine. Don't go back now and say, yo, I ate too much, yo, I need to go on a diet, yo, I need to restrict carbs. No, go back to eating normally, because the body is very good at regulating itself. You can try and starve yourself or eliminate food groups for a few days, but eventually it catches up with you. If after a couple of days, like, you'll go off the rails, like you yourself won't understand. You'll just be like, I don't know what got into me. I just couldn't stop eating all the carbs. There's a reason for that. It's just because you've been depriving yourself for so long. So don't get into a state of deprivation. Allow yourself to eat carbs in smaller portions, understanding that not all carbs are created equal. So priority should be complex carbs, and allow yourself to have refined carbs, because those are also life. Like, those are just good for the soul. And yeah, be kinder to yourself, and don't have this perception that certain foods are good or bad. It's just that some food has more nutrients than others, but either way, food is food, energy is energy, and overconsumption of anything will lead to weight gain. It's just that some foods are easier to overconsume than others. And that is that on that. We are no longer talking about this topic. I just wanted to shut it down real quick, because we need to get to more important matters in this journey, in this discussion, in our nutrition chats. I feel like there's so much more we need to be discussing, but we have to obviously start with things that people might still be concerned about. And yeah, I hope that answers your questions. If not, let me know in the comment section. If you find that you are really, really struggling with the whole carbs thing, slide into my DMs. I've got a few recommendations for you. And that is all I have to say about carbs. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.